I think we have had a very exciting AASLD meeting here in Boston with fantastic news, in particular for our patients with PBC, with 2 phase 3 studies, late breaker sessions. Of course, there was another late breaker abstract indicating a combined therapy of obeticholic acid, the in-label drug, in combination with 2 different doses of bezafibrate, either 200 and 400 milligram. These were very small, randomized controlled studies, the 213 and 214 study, and they both showed that given over a time period of only 3 months, there was a significant additive benefit if obeticholic acid was combined with the 400 milligram of bezafibrate, something which has already been reported in the real-life setting. And this is, of course, of promise because obeticholic acid has a potential to worsen or induce pruritus, and adding bezafibrate to this drug clearly showed that pruritus is not a real issue anymore in this population. And so I think these are good news. These were small studies. They have to be proven in larger phase 3 studies, but this is certainly of hope for our patients. And furthermore, there was one abstract from a real-life cohort in Spain and Portugal. More than 300 PBC patients with a need for second-line therapies were investigated in this large cohort of more than 300 patients. And it could be shown that in real life, treating those patients with obeticholic acid also resulted in 42% achievement of the POISE criteria, which is comparable to what we've seen in the clinical study, where roughly 50% achieved this composite endpoint. It should always be mentioned that the other nearly 60% will also have a high likelihood of a benefit despite not achieving this, because if you start at a very high alkaline phosphatase of 800 and 600, you may not achieve a reduction below 1.67, but I think that these patients still have a significant benefit of being treated with such a drug. And also there, I think it's important to state that we aim for normalization. A significant number of patients in this real-world cohort, roughly 20%, were treated with a combination of obeticholic acid and bezafibrate, and the combination resulted in a significant number of patients achieving normalization after a couple of years. This was roughly 30 or a bit more than 30%, indicating that there is a good additional treatment response if we combine different signaling pathways, anti-cholestatic, anti-inflammatory, and potentially anti-fibrotic signaling pathways in patients with PBC. I think it was a fantastic meeting here in Boston. We have learned a lot. I think we are at a time point where there are novel therapies on the horizon, in particular for patients with primary biliary cholangitis. This gives us great hope. And of course, we aim for future therapies also for other disease entities, such as primary sclerosing cholangitis, where there is still a big unmet need for therapies, no licensed therapies so far. On top, I think we see more and more that also the patient-reported outcomes are addressed by clinical trials, are improved in larger phase 3 studies, and this is of hope for our patients and treating physicians, not only to treat the underlying disease, but also to improve symptom burden in our patients.